Yes, it's just...
Does it not depend
it's
on the
more
player
like you go
as
into
well?
the next game and you're just hoping that, in this moment, like, oh, what do I buy? I've got the, because I click on my teammates when I'm playing, right? You see what they have in their quick buy. I'm like, all right, PL's going Scotty. Like, this feels good. Then you look and it's like, wait, what? He's got a Battle Fury? And, dude, you just...
Are you in the game? Are you going, dude, what the hell? Don't
I mean, at that point, it's too late, I would say. Something that egregious you might bring up anyway.
Yeah.
You may say, can you get this item next? Because they've already bought a bad item and you think they might get another bad item, or...
I'm trying to think of, like, what it's for. Like, I really just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the only argument kind of is wave clear, but I think he clears waves fast enough just with all the other items he has. Like, yeah, you clear faster with Battle Fury, but it wasn't slow. You have Lesh, DP, you have other wave-clearing heroes.
Ame is a unique individual, very talented, a unique understanding of the game.
Jack Chen's favorite player.
Indeed.
He's carried them through some games, like going back to the earlier playoffs matches. His Slark was fantastic. He's had some other really good performances.
I mean, they've all. We were saying in the break that effectively the difference between these two teams, if you want to really be brutal about it, is the fact that on Liquid side, Matuma Man's had some pretty poor games, and even GH has had the odd bad game here. Mind Control likewise had some rough games. Kuro's been off his game a little bit here and there. Miracle's the one that's carried them through the large majority of the games that they shouldn't have won. Whereas on the other side, LGD, every single player on this team has had MVP performances in almost all of their games throughout the tournament. They've all stepped up.
They came second in their group, didn't they? Didn't Liquid beat them?
That has what to do with all their players playing well.
You're saying they had MVP performances in almost all their games. You're implying
all their players.
So you're saying they had good and bad games?
I'm talking about the games. I'm talking about the players.
I think he's saying that everybody on LGD is putting in the work.
Yeah,
put in the work. You're not giving nearly enough love to Mind Control. I'm just saying.
X-Nova's had some great games. FY's had some great games. Chalice has had some great games. Maybe's had some terrific games. And Army's had the odd great game. So they've all stepped up at various points when they've needed. That's basically my point. Whereas Liquid have had more rough games per player throughout the tournament. Agree or disagree?
I think that's just code for they've lost more games, thus had more opportunity. Which I would blame a team for. Kuro specifically, I think if he had any shortcomings in this tournament thus far, it's more based around his drafting. But that's just the nature of Dota 2, especially at this level, teams of this caliber. Doesn't matter how many games you win, eventually you'll have a draft that isn't in your favor. It doesn't even have to be that bad. It's just 60-40 for the enemy. It's still lost a draft.
Or you run into a team who's just figured out the patch and has all these must-ban heroes, can't ban them all, and meanwhile you feel like your team doesn't have any insta-win heroes. Like Liquid at TI, they had the Io, the Coddle, they had all the Mind Controls hero, the Furion, etc. Liquid right now, it doesn't feel like outside of the Io there's a must-ban hero against them.
They look pretty fresh in that booth still, despite the fact that this will be their 7th game of the day as they head into it right now, which is... it's a fairly tall order, but we have seen teams come from the lower bracket and win tournaments before. It's not impossible.
Yep.
Virtus Pro have done it in the past.
Happened at TI
EG
a couple
have done it
of times.
In the past. Yeah.
So
do you think that's enough of a disadvantage, Kyle? Just while we're on the subject of that and waiting for this next draft, do you think, because there is that old school saying that if you win the upper bracket, you should have some sort of advantage going into the grand final, right? Because you've gone all the way through unbeaten, so you should get an advantage. The advantage is you get extra rest. That's the advantage, right? Is that enough?
I think
should it be a 1-0 start, for instance,
no,
in a best
of 5? I think that's too much, but you should definitely get selection priority in games 1 through 5.
Right.
100%. And that's something that I feel like tournaments should start adopting. I think it's the same.
Do that?
I don't believe so.
No, okay.
It's also for high seeds. I think if you're the high seed, the 1 in an upper bracket match, you should have priority in 1 and 3.
Right.
It makes no sense to me and removes, if a team goes 5-0 in groups and the other goes 3-2, right, and you're matched up against each other, why should the 3-2 team have
but if
priority?
it's the 2 group winners, as it was here, effectively, then...
Then you do a coin toss. This is upper winner, upper lower, though.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And, I mean, if you look at, sports, right, NFL, NBA, it's home team is the higher seed. When you get to the finals, it's more arbitrary. But in this sense, we have a final where it's upper and lower. So it's
we don't have home and away, but we do have elements that could count as home or away, isn't there?
Just seeding. Yeah. It's just seeding, right?
Right then, draft number 4 of the grand final here at EPICENTER XL. If you're just joining us at the Ice Palace in Moscow, welcome to the grand final. You've missed 3 great games, but hopefully you're in for a treat with 2 more. But right now, LGD are 1 game away from winning their first ever major championship.
Like the opener, Tusk Doom. Doom's super strong against Axe. The spin now doing pure damage means these high HP and regen-based heroes don't really fear the spin as a source of damage. You also obviously don't attack very quickly, and the percent, your Infernal Blade procs even through taunt if it's on autocast, and it does a massive amount of damage to Axe. And also, Doom is just super sick. Even though they lost that game, that there was a wolf and an alacrity, and all of a sudden the lifestealer was hitting buildings for like 300.
Ooh. Witch Doctor vs. Doom is not great because he heals up, and the Maledict is not a reliable tool.
Not a fan of that against the Tusk either, in truth.
It's a change up in bans, by the way, for Liquid, isn't it?
Yeah, banning the Sky this time around because they have the first pick to be able to pick up the X. No Leshrac in this first three. Nope. I thought the Leshrac was fine enough in that last game.
Shouldn't get through this second
I mean,
phase
it was a 5-position X-Nova hero. Like, it was never going to have a massive impact, and I thought he played it well enough.
I don't think LG want to pick it as a 5-position. Yeah. But they felt like, I guess, last game, based on the draft and where things went, it was better off as a 5. So I think if we see it again, it's going to come out as a 4th, 5th pick when they know they can run it in the mid lane.
Lundra ban from LGD. It's the same as they used in their second phase last time round as well.
If Liquid want Lone Druid, they're going to have to first to it, which at this point, they're just not willing to do.
Yeah, and a Storm ban for Liquid.
I think you're going to see a Disruptor here.
Disruptor Tusk, I like a lot.
Yeah, especially with the Doom. It's just a nice combination. I think it's quite nice against Axe as well, because I like that you can just control his Blink Dagger.
You may just see the Venge as the save.
I can see that
they have a save already, but it's more the X-Nova pick that they like to go for.
Yeah, I thought that was going to take a totally different turn.
So did I for a second. Whoa.
Like, camera guy is taking some chances.
You're on the web. That's like the risky click of the day right there.
How do you even... never mind. I'm not an experienced enough panelist to like really know how to respond to certain situations. Luckily, so far, I've had nothing but softballs up here, so no faux pas. Just as
you start talking about how good an item Ultimate Orb is.
It's a terrible item. All right. Rasta. I'm dumb. I should have seen that one coming.
Haven't seen that in the grand final yet.
They pick it a lot with Slark. Wonder if we're going to see that hero appear for LGD. Always with these cores that aren't objective takers. Often, at least.
Not with Axe in the already picked.
Why should you have seen that coming, Kyle?
They'd picked it yesterday, and it's just super nice. It does a lot more than a Disruptor. I look at it, and I don't like it even just because you don't do enough damage, and it's just not enough. It doesn't give you enough tools nowadays, and I feel like this Rasta for the CC, the tower push, wave clear, it's just a stronger laner. It just has a lot more to do.
Stronger laner, yes, but it's also a support that usually suffers against dual lanes, and I don't anticipate this Axe to be alone.
I think when you have a Tusk involved, it's a lot easier, though. Yeah, that's it.
I like it. For Liquid.
No, guys.
Axe Lesh.
We're going to 5.
Probably 4 position, do you think?
Yeah, isn't this just like the Skywrath Mage? You just go down there and spam?
Seems like the alternative for GH right now.
Is that because they thought that might be LGD's next pick? Do you feel that may have played into that a little bit?
I think it's just a floater. It's like it's just a really nice hero to pick third, and in addition, you've got the versatility still. So it can be a core, it can be a support. You see what LGD does, and then you build your lineup around it. Really good synergy with Axe. Excellent spam in the lane with an Axe. Wow.
Leo enjoying the grand final?
I didn't see.
I didn't mind it against the Axe, but when the Lesh comes out as well.
Yeah, this is
like, I think it's playable when there's like one counter in the Axe, but once they start adding up, that's when you're like, ooh, do you still really want it?
I think you just core the Lesh now, right?
Yeah.
And my concern is you get a Blade Mail Axe. Like, there's always this counter to Slark. The whole game. If you just taunt the Slark and then Lesh runs on top of him.
You've got to burst him during that Blade Mail because Slark is not like huge, heavy burst physical, and you're giving him those free stats.
But that's where the Lesh comes in.
Sure,
like,
Lesh
you don't
is
even
enough.
care if he gets his ult off on a sliver of HP. You're just on top of him dealing like 300 DPS.
I think this is problematic for LGD if it is a core Lesh. If anything, I think you see that pick in your Liquid, you're like, well, why not? Unless you have some other hero that's a Slark counter. Invoker, you know? Do they go 3 games in a row?
Is Slark? Invoker's not a Slark counter, I don't think. Man.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Ah, okay. I just look at it like more damage to dump on the Axe Call. Like guaranteed Sunstrike, Chaos Media. Maybe not so much a counter, but a hero that dumps AoE damage.
In that way, I agree with you. I just think that Slark can hunt an Invoker very easily, especially with like an early Shadow Blade. Like even when Invoker gets an Ags, right? If you just carry Dust, what does Invoker do if you land on top of him? I also just think it's too... We'll see. I just think Invoker Witch Doctor Lesh is just too much squishy backline intelligence heroes.
It's the kind of greedy pick that we've seen Slarks punish throughout this tournament, like the Terrorblade-esque heroes.
I want this to be a Lesh core. They could go either way with it, of course. I think you go Earth Spirit, though. Okay. That's... man, I don't like that against Slark either. Or Doom, actually. We've seen Doom and Slark picked up to counter this Gyrocopter.
Perhaps looking more, having a strong laning stage. Witch Doctor Gyro gives them damage to actually combat the Doom.
Yeah, LGD certainly needs team fight with their last pick, because otherwise, we've seen this before, you know, in that Mineski VP game where it looks like VP is the better draft, but...
Kunkka's still in the pool. I'm surprised to see that not banned or pick. That is team fight right there. That's the mid-maybe here.
I mean, that is a good last pick for LGD. Is it enough team fight is my only question. It definitely provides a lot.
In the second phase of both the first and the second game by Liquid as well.
I'm sure that's Liquid's last ban here. It's got to be.
I think so.
I mean, when you pick up the Gyrocopter, right? There are still some supports that are really strong versus Slark and Doom, but I guess the one question I have, if you change this Leshrac into a core, then what really is left to be able to ensure this Axe does have a good laning phase? Because he really needs one. And I can't think of a whole lot of supports. Like, there's Lion and Ancient Apparition. These heroes are good versus Doom or Slark and stuff, but they're not going to give you what you need for your Axe.
Just get like an Earthshaker type hero. Just fissure block the wave. Complements the Lesh in the mid lane really well. Like any fissure block or stun can set up the Lesh for kills on a mid lane.
Oh, no way, man. I think Shaker is just... I take back everything I said about that hero at the start of the...
Your day one.
The start of the
Shaker
tournament.
love is gone.
Yeah, the Lesh I was right. The Furion for sure. The Wisp, but the Shakers, no.
We've got a Quap ban rather than
Yeah.
a Kunkka
Ooh.
ban.
Okay, now
that's cool.
That's why they don't ban Kunkka, because they're picking it.
Yeah.
So.
And now the Slark has 2 mechanisms that are able to lock him down that he can't really get rid of.
Yeah, I mean, that's... I look at Liquid's team fight and I think, oh my goodness, like it's just... It's insanely strong, and I don't know what you pick of your LGD to really deal with this.
There's the OD, perhaps one of the more likely picks.
I can see it, but then it's like, where's your tower damage? What happens if you get outlaned? Yeah. OD Doom, like I feel like we've seen these heroes together a couple of times. It's never looked strong.
I hate to say it, Kyle, but what about Viper?
Please don't upset him anymore.
It's funny,
Maybe asking him to pick a Naga next and then he'll leave.
There's just not a whole left that is going to fill this gap for you that you desperately need in that 20, 25 minutes.
I feel like I've only seen Viper do well with Beastmasters at this tournament.
No.
We have like a more fast-paced offlaner.
Maybe, I have no idea. Maybe you Pudge mid.
There's a staple pick.
Very
Death Prophet for LGD finishes off the draft. This also confirms that Sand will be the hero of the tournament, most picked. Gents, where we going? Game 4.
I really don't know. I think both drafts are excellent, and they both have... It's just going to come down to execution in play. If that last game proved anything, it's just great teams. You make mistakes here and there. He who makes the least shall win.
Which will be...
I don't know, Cap.
Believe in the game 5.
Liquid, I like the Kunkka and the Leshrac Axe dual lane.
What do you think, Gods?
I believe in the game 5, Kyle. You know, I woke up this morning, that feeling in my stomach said, we're on 5 games.
Well, so far we've been in sync on the last 2, and we've been right both times. So I guess I got to go Liquid as well.
Wow.
All right. Okay. It's very agreeable.
Ride or die. Ride or die.
But they're riding or dying on Liquid, making this a best of 5 that goes all 5 games. I'm on board. Are you on board? I think you should be as we head back to the arena from one Admiral to another who's alongside OD Pixel for game number 4.
Thank you, Paul. Yes, another game here in this best of 5 series between LGD and Liquid, and the panel they're saying full out. This is Liquid pushing it to a game 5. A lot of confidence in Liquid's draft. Do you sort of agree with them? Is this sort of 2 draft lineups that you look at and you say Liquid has a clear edge here, or do you think LGD are going to be able to strike it hard and take a 3-1 here?
I feel pretty good about Liquid's draft. They have the better team fight, and we've seen this Slark a lot. Usually really late pick like they did here, and it's been like demolishing teams, right? It's been looking so scary, but this time around they got many counters now. Axe is a great hero. Leshrac, even though it's a support, he has a lot of AoE. Kunkka as well. The boat is going to be great against Slark. Slark goes in, he wants to kill people fast, but the boat will save them, so...
This is it, Liquid. Looking for the chase down onto Nova. Arme is going to come in. He has, of course, skilled up the S and shift so he can start to stack things up. X-Nova trying to hide in the trees, but it's not going to keep him alive. He will fall. Arme stealing a fair few stats, though, with this early point skilled up, but it's not enough to turn things around straight away. It's Liquid get away with first blood. Arme will be kept held back. So this sort of aggression that, as the panel said, we can expect to see in this bottom lane already, showing us the potential, this Axe and Leshrac.
Really good pick off there, giving them that extra goal in the lane, and you want to pressure that Slark, so having that bonus goal, giving that boots earlier to Leshrac if he decides to go for that, it's going to help out a lot by zoning and harassing that guy.
Interested to see how this mid lane matchup will go around. We've seen a few times really in these LGD Liquid games. Normally Matuma is pitted in the mid lane against Somnus. This time Miracle will return to the central role on his Kunkka to go up against Somnus' Death Prophet. We'll see how he handles it. I mean, how do you sort of expect this matchup to go in the mid lane? Can we expect to see Miracle do all right here?
Definitely. Kunkka is a very strong laner, and he's going to do absolutely fine, even though you think that DP is great against melee because of her drain. And she is, but it's not that powerful at early levels. And Kunkka's extra bonus damage is super powerful, so he's going to do absolutely fine. Really good at denying with, so he's going to be absolutely fine. And top lane as well, Gyro and Witch Doctor, super strong combo.
Yeah. You know, once there's a few levels on those two, definitely killing potential between the two of them. But obviously, as it is, LGD are responding with the dual lanes of themselves, having both the Tusk and the Doom placed up top to try and make sure that they can play against this Jarna. Obviously, being both strength heroes and Doom himself having a very large amount of HP early on, can withstand a lot of that sort of potential from the combo, as the panel said as well. Having the Scorched up against the Maledict, it's going to be very nice for keeping himself alive in that top lane.
6 denies on Kunkka right now. That's the strength of his Tide Splash.
That's how I bring indeed.
Yep.
Absolutely, that extra bonus damage for every deny if he's not using it aggressively. Really helping him make sure that he can get this experience advantage in the 1v1.
Ruin Slark helping out here. Pretty interesting. Usually you don't see the carry doing this, but...
A little bit of a movement away from the creep wave. Doesn't look like he'll miss any though, as they're now going to come in underneath the tower. Allow Mind Control to play that extra little bit aggressive. Onto Arme, FY. Let's grab a Haste Rune. Doesn't actually get the Shard Control onto Kuro. Kuro will be okay for now.
And gotta worry about this rotation middle for both sides here. Kunkka again melee. You get drained by DP when she gets level 5. That's pretty scary, but at the same time, Kunkka is a great hero to just X a hero and then you rotate in with a hero and then a TP as well. All of a sudden you're 3 people and she dies.
A lot of catch and control. If they can find the sort of follow-up damage with the rotation of an extra hero or two. And certainly between these supports, a lot of good magical bursts really on both sides when it comes down to these sort of early ganks at the moment.
Doom is having a really good lane here, which is always scary. If that means he gets an early 6, we've seen what that can do a lot of times. Just takes over the lane, and ooh, there's a big bottom lane here. A lot of coins coming in.
Over, going for the shackles, but he's instantly going to pay for that one as Kuro comes in with the TP. In fact, the cast pantsers as well, allowing them to look towards FY. The Maledict upon him. Can they bring this man down with Mind Control chasing in? They should certainly have enough, and another stun will connect. Liquid responding to the aggression as a little bit of an ambitious shackle underneath the tower there from X-Nova.
More like questionable, to be honest. Not sure what he was thinking. Like, okay, you shackle for the creeps to do damage, but it's an axe, and there's a electric right behind. What are you thinking? Not sure what that was about.
Just a little bit of a suicidal play from X-Nova. He's looking to redeem himself, though, make something else happen across the map with the help of FY. As the two of them smoke up and start to head towards top to maybe try and catch this gyrocopter off guard. Mid lane, Liquid, they'll be the first to make a play with their support rotation as they come in onto mid, onto Somnus. The wraparound's there, and indeed they have that control that you talked about with Miracle's Kunkka. See if LGD supports can do just the same and find something for themselves. They really want to try and find a jump onto Matuma, but
Matuma needs to know this. They're not middle. They didn't contest that at all, and they're not showing bottom. He needs to know that they're here. That's why he's playing so passive. He's not 100% sure. Just poking, and here they come.
Here they go. As soon as he steps a little bit too far forward, they're straight in on top of him with the snowball and the shards, holding him in place. They get away with the kill. As you said, you could sort of see the Matuma man was trying to play as precautious as possible, but that little just slight step too far, instantly jumped upon by LGD. They see an opportunity and they do not hesitate to take it.
This is not good. The Doom is getting too good of a lane again. This Chalice, he's playing so well every game. It's a good lane, and it's not going to get a lot easier for Matuma man.
Matuma, that's the backup of Kuro as he comes back into the lane. Bottom lane, Mind Control and GH will force the TPs of LGD to head down towards the backup of Arme. FY and X-Nova coming in. Mind Control and GH will back away from diving in just that little bit too far.
Yeah, and the Slark is doing pretty well still now, even though it's being contested by Mind Control here. Axe is not the greatest against this lane, even though he's good. It really comes into later when he calls him in his ult and Blaze Mail. He's going to take so much damage from that. And yeah, Axe is just pushing the lane, which means Slark is getting it into the tower and he gets to see us there. Chalice
certainly going to be the mid lane still. Quite a difference, because look at these denies. As we've been saying, 19 denies on Miracle, and that is leading to the point where Miracle, he's level 6, Somnus, he's level 4. So Somnus is trying for a play here onto Miracle, but the fact he's 6 means he's got the run, he's got that tank ability, and now he's going to turn with the Tidebringer, X-Mark control onto FY. Liquid will just turn and bring down the Tusk. It's very hard for Somnus to make these sort of plays because of that level deficiency. He's 2 levels behind Miracle. Chalice will try and walk in with the Infernal Blade, but Miracle, he's going to be able to get himself back to safety. These denies just making all the difference in this mid lane matchup.
Absolutely, we see that. He's only level 4 there, so he doesn't have level 3 in the Siphon. So they're not even close to killing him. Only when Doom comes in, they almost get him, but you know, he feels safe anyway. He just goes to heal now, and you know, that boat buff is so powerful.
It's crazy. It really is. If Miracle can get that out each and every time, especially during these early level rotations from the supports, there's just never going to be enough damage to burst down the Kunkka if he has that rum on him.
Yeah, and Doom soon hitting 6 here. Liquid needs to do something about this because they cannot one-on-one anymore here. This guy is going to start feeding a lot soon if they don't help him.
Correct.
The rotation coming in.
He's trying for this, but backups there for Chalice. But Matuma trying to commit here with the cooldown as he hits level 6, but the snowball comes in, allowing LGD to dodge a lot of that damage. Matuma will be able to keep himself safe as he backs away, but Chalice, he's thinking about diving underneath the tower for this one. He looks towards Kuroki, but can't quite close the gap.
We see the nerf in effect right there on the Tusk. The Ice Shard not lasting long enough. They lasted 2 more seconds there. That guy probably would have been dead, but that is not what happens. And now Axe is getting level 6, is getting... Oh.
Again, this mid lane. Look how close they come to bringing down Miracle. Somnus nearly getting away with it that time. But still just not quite enough damage. That extra edge that Miracle got out of the 1v1 is just making it impossible for Somnus to be able to sort of outplay him in this 1v1 and find the kill. Top laner go on to challenge with the Maledict, but again, backups there. The 2 supports come in. FY X-Nova turns straight towards Matuma with the shackles, holding him down. Slowly but surely, they'll right-click the gyro out of the lane as LGD putting some excellent pressure onto Matuma gyrocopter early on. Each and every time, the snowball coming into play from FY, the entire combo of the gyro just being rendered useless in this lane.
Yeah, they recognize that Slark is still getting good enough farm bottom, so decided to just go to the other strong lane, the Doom, who's super powerful right now. He's got ult, even though he didn't need to use it, and they're just bringing down this gyro, so then Slark can just go kill him all the time, and underfarm gyro is not that scary. They need him quite a lot. And Kunkka, he's doing okay in middle. I thought he would be a little bit more ahead of the DP, but the rotation.
The Chalice straight away with a 6, coming down to the bottom and helping Arme find a kill onto Mind Control. Immediate move from Chalice to make sure that as an offlaner, he can continue to have just that bit more momentum than Mind Control gets this game. Lane, another look towards Miracle. He's got the X mark on Somnus to make sure that he can pull Somnus back. Looks for the combo follow-up. Only gets the torrent onto FY. Somnus still alive for now, but there's Matumba with the rotation from top. Comes in with the cooldown. The Cypher not enough to keep Somnus alive. Snowball up to the high ground from FY as he tries to get himself away, but Matumba man's in with the Rocket Barrage. Liquid cut down both of them. This mid lane doing a lot of wonders here for Liquid. Matumba Man does take an Infernal Blade. He's going to be ticking down incredibly low, but it's not enough to bring him down. And again, Miracle just looking for another kill. The X-Mark Torrent combo onto Chalice. A few more right clicks will do it with the Lightning. Liquid take down Chalice. FY really wants to find Miracle. They're desperately trying to finish off this Cougar, but with the Snowball, they might be able to do it. They close the gap. Miracle pops the stick, charges with the zap. They get it, but it's going to cost these lives of LGD as they'll lose FY for this. Matumba Man comes back in, but he's on minimal health. He gets nuked down here by Somnus, and now Somnus has got the Exorcism. Can LGD really clean this one up? Somnus is chasing down Kuro with the Exorcism, takes the Witch Doctor. GH will keep his distance as he runs himself away, so they are able to finally kill off Miracle. It takes a lot, but they do get the job done, LGD, and are able to get Somnus involved in some kills as he comes back in after that initial death.
Yeah, Matumba Man living on the edge for a long time. He's hesitating to go in and out. Like, he doesn't want to get burst. He's 1 health, but yeah, in the end, he goes down by the DP.
Look at this, the fight's not over. They want to go for Somnus here, and they've got the combo. He does have the heal from the Exorcism. Is it going to be enough to save him the time? Bring the cooldown. It's not enough.
The rocket.
There is a rocket in. They've got to get the rocket off him. Can they do it? They can't. They can't get rid of the rocket. The homing missile will get the kill for Liquid. This mid lane, an absolute brawler between the two teams.
Absolutely. But meanwhile, Slark is farming, and so is Doom. Matumba feels he couldn't stand top anymore because he's getting ganked non-stop, so he decides to rotate and gank. And it's kind of successful, but he's not farming. He's falling behind a bit, and this Slark, 4K net worth now, and we know what happens with this hero. And luckily, though, Axe is also keeping out with farm. He's going to get Dagger relatively soon.
They go down bottom. They do manage to, indeed, dunk down the Courier.
That's a lot of coins.
I'll take that one away from LGD. Somnus looking to play around the fact that X-Nova has popped down the wards up top to finish off this tier 1 tower. Won't quite be enough to finish it off as GH and Mind Control are there to dispatch of the Serpents. Still hovering around this tree line. I mean, GH is very, very low here. Somnus, he doesn't have a point in the silence. GH can turn, look for the stun. Can he get himself away in time? He's trying, but the Siphon is just too damn strong. The final right click comes in from Somnus, and GH will fall.
Patience from Somnus right there. He's standing for a very long time, and it pays off. Very nice. And right now, Liquid just needs to farm their core items. They need the dagger on Axe.
They've got it. Just picked up.
Yep.
So we'll see what he can do with this one, Mind Control.
Because there's no way they can kill Slark without it right now, unless he steps out severely. And yeah, they definitely want to rotate and kill this Slark now. With the Gyro there as well, they can burst him really easily.
Top lane, a fight being lit to Kuro. He's TP'd in, he does have Matumba Man and Miracle here. Can they really look to turn this one around? They've got the cooldown onto 2, the Doom's gonna be dropped straight down onto Matumba Man. X-Nova looking for the shackle, but Miracle, he has the torrent, the bow, flying forward. They've taken down X-Nova, Chalice has been surrounded. He'll be chased down by Mind Control. Miracle with a final Tidebringer hit off the creep will finish off Chalice. Maybe forcing it a little bit too much there, LGD. Looking to take that tower, which they do get, but a usage of the Doom does not warrant them the kill on the Gyro, and they lose heroes themselves.
Yeah, and that Doom is really tanky there. If Slark had Shadowblade at that point, if this was just happened 2 minutes later and he TP's out with a Shadowblade, that would have been disastrous. Because right now they're fighting 4 versus 5 pretty much, and this Slark is just farming, and it's pretty scary.
Oh.
The jump.
He's wondering if he can do it. And he's going to be careful, understandably so. He does not want to get caught out by an X-Mark.
Night vision there, making him spot the Axe, really important. That's a bait by GH. Getting away there.
To the shrine they go, Somnus. Exorcism ready. As well as the Serpent wards, LGD can look to try and look for another fight into a tower siege. A turn towards middle, going straight away onto Miracle. Miracle, he's got the boat coming in. Will the buff be enough to keep him alive? They've got the shackles, Exorcism. Can they finish him off? A Mind Control! He's in with the 3-man call! absolutely destroying LGD there with the perfect blink play. Catches 3 of them, and there is no way that LGD can turn to fight back into that one.
Yeah, just beautiful axe call, and the boat buff makes sure that Kunkka can't die. And yeah, just great. They have so much fighting potential now. There's so much team fight, and they're underestimating that. But still, the Slark is just farming, and when he gets Shadowblade.
Yeah.
But the problem is that Liquid has so good ways to deal with it. The axe, if Slark was there, he would have just called the Slark anyway.
Oh, mate. Actually, looking at what's Grokin with the zap from X over the fun one. X actually dropping down the walls. They really want to finish off this axe. Shards come through from FY. Mind Control has the call to give him a bit of extra armor, but that isn't going to save him against the onslaught from LGD.
Wow. Ame playing Omega safe right there, just backing up even with 80% health. He didn't have ult, but the only one that can really kill him is the axe, and you know, he was the one he's hitting, so only thing, maybe a Kunkka Torrent as well, but playing it safe, he's not dying, so that's good.
And let's see what he does now, because he has got the Shadowblade. So with this Shadowblade as the Slark, are you looking to now get involved, or are you still just going to be farming up a sort of a second major item after this before you turn up to these fights? Like, does your team need you to turn up at the moment, or is it more important for you to continue farming?
I wouldn't mind continue farming. Like, he's gonna have the blink, I mean the TP to TP in, but he's gonna definitely farm now.
Yeah.
I don't think he want to actively look for kills because he can't kill heroes that fast right now. So if he goes on someone and TPs in and calls him, that could be disastrous. And again, they have so much AoE for him, so much team fight, so it's scary for him to fight right now. So him just farming still is fine because the axe is a big threat.
There's no doubt about it, especially with Mind Control. You're getting more blink calls like he just did. Armlet, and he finished for Miracle. So he's going to be even more difficult to tackle in these fights with that Armlet boat combination.
Really important factor we're seeing as well is that GH is getting tons of farm on the Leshrac, which is really good against the Slark. If this guy has a bad game, he's sitting on 2k net worth, 3k at 20-30 minutes. He's just got a free kill, right? But this guy's not getting farm. He's got Yules to counter the initiation by Slark, so he's going to be fine. Just that can come into a great effect later if he keeps his farm up.
That's bottom lane. Miracle. Keeping the pressure on, and indeed FY getting himself well away from this tier 1 tower. Knows that Liquid are putting the pressure, and Liquid do have these deep walls as well. And one behind the tower to make sure that they can spot out any intention of LGD to come forward and try and offer some sort of hold to this. But indeed LGD won't. Liquid will be allowed to take this one for free. As the Radiant themselves, LGD find a tier 2 tower in trade. So still continuing to find sort of the advantage in towers. And as the 4 of them move towards mid, they'll try and push on for a tier 1. They still have the Ghosts and the Serpent Wards, and there we have it. X-Nova will drop them.
They're getting quite a lot of towers right now, and the Doom is going for a BKB, really good because you can see Liquid, so much magic damage. If he just runs in, creates chaos, so Slark can do what he wants. That would be ideal. And yeah, just farming up the wards. Axe definitely would like this farm. He's falling off a little, or falling behind in the farm slightly. And so is Kunkka right now. Not the greatest here. You definitely want Kunkka to be that threat mid and late game. Not sure if the guy can really carry this.
Ame, wanting to fight here with the Shadowblade. He just goes for a cheeky touch onto the Lesh.
Yeah, he's playing very safe here.
He has to be. With that Kunkka around, sort of a lone X mark could catch him off guard.
He knows how easily he dies here. Anyone with Axe kills him right now. Leshrac gets tons of damage. Torrent and the boat.
Ooh, Mind Control. Trying to get a grab onto Somnus. Somnus just a little too speedy.
Even when he sees a Witch Doctor, he still plays super, so he can't go for these kills.
No.
Because of the initiation, counter initiation here.
I think, as you say, he knows, you know, Ame, that he is in a fantastic position in terms of the farm that he's getting, and doing everything in his power to make sure that he doesn't throw that advantage away that he has at this moment in time. As long as the rest of his team can keep this sort of pace for the game, Ame is going to be quite a terrific force as this game goes on. Top lane Chalice is pushing it out, but they've got the control. He may be big with a lot of HP, but a lot of control there between GH and Miracle.
Kanka getting the kill, really good. He's already caught up here in the farm. I'm not sure if he kills him stack as well. That's a big bounce here. And yeah, they're going for a smoke now. They want to go and kill the Kanka.
Well, they are going to find, indeed, the position in which he X marks himself back to.
X is coming.
He needs backup. GH is going to be there. Is it enough to hold them off him? It isn't. They'll lose Miracle. LGD with the X's and pop wanting to find more mind control, tries for the call, but Somnus keeps distance. They won't be caught out by that one. GH is going to fall as well. A big fight here for LGD. Moving forward with the X's and they get the two-man silence, but the cask is already out, holding them back momentarily. Mind control tries for the TP out. He's not going to make it. FY, the snowball comes through as well as the Yours, throwing him up, throwing him down. Somnus gets the triple kill. A perfect fight for Somnus with the Ghost at the ready as he runs down Liquid one by one with the help of his teammates.
Yeah, that Kanka dying there, they don't have much damage anymore. I mean, they do have quite a lot, but the guy is not, the Matumaman is not there, right? So, and he doesn't get the call there. I think he had a three-man call there if he just went for it earlier, but now getting the Roche, that's a pretty bad turn of events right now.
It certainly is for Liquid. LGD. And the question is if Liquid can do anything to disrupt this. He's falling incredibly low. Matumaman's heading forward, but already Roche has taken down an Arme, picks up the Aegis, pounces himself out of the pit. Chalice could be in a bit more trouble as he's left stuck inside. But they'll take that. They've lost two. If they can get Arme out of here with the Aegis intact, LGD will be fine with this. Shadow Dance. Liquid, is there any way that they can sort of close the gap onto him? He's incredibly speedy. And indeed, Arme gets out. So they lose two. But they got Roshan, and they got that Aegis intact on Arme as he takes it back out of the fight.
Definitely happy about that. It's all about the Slark now.
Yeah.
He's playing really well. And yeah, the Axe just needs his Blade Mill. I'm not sure if he has it yet. It's going to be a huge pickup, but still, even when he gets that, when he jumps in, the Doom hits him once with the Infernal Blade. So much damage. And the same with Death Prophet. He has so much damage when someone gets close, so it's not going to be easy for X, because he's just going to die. And when he jumps in, he needs to bring people down with him, pretty much.
Mid lane he goes, but FY, woo! That was pretty flashy there. Quick with a snowball.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Swags his way out of there, FY.
Now with the Aegis, they feel very confident here. They could even go for some kills now. Once he gets the BKB, that's when he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
He's not going to die there anymore unless he gets initiated by the Axe before he BKBs.
Certainly a lot of pressure on mind control to find these initiations onto the cores of LGD. The way LGD is playing, as we said, sort of time and time again, incredibly safe with these cores such as Arme. Still yet to fall this game. Somnus, he's been a bit more through the works in the mid lane with the pressure that Liquid put on early. But it is the fact that this Slark's sort of fallen under the radar. And he's getting bigger and bigger. Jara Matumba has got the Aghanim. So this team fight from Liquid is continuing to step up more so. If they can sort of find the opening. If they can find that jump.
And Slark looking for solo kills here. He's really strong right now. GH all alone. He needs to put... This is how he gets his farm, so he needs to do this. It's a little risky, but it's just going to keep an eye dead.
He can't get out of this one. He reels himself up, but between the two of them, FY and Arme have the damage to beat him down. What did you say? This is the expected play from in that sort of support role. You sort of give away your life to shove out the waves as far as you can because you've opened up the map. You've created space for Matumba to head over, take some Ancients, and for the rest of your team to farm without any sort of worry about being jumped on.
And Matumba's farm is definitely good still, and can't count out that hero there. He's going to get really strong as well. Tons of AoE damage. And yeah, they're going for the smoke here now. Doom is up. They have everything. They got the Aegis. Liquid cannot take this fight here.
BKB as well on Somnus. See what they can find. They found Miracle straight away with the Doom. Look at the lockdown and but there's the call. Manages to get onto 3, but is there any follow? That's the question. Liquid, they've got the Shrine, but the heal's not going to be enough as they lose Miracle. They lose Kuroki, and with the shackles holding him in place, they'll lose mind control as well. LGD with the smoke movement, catching them off guard. The quick play from Chalice, straight in with the Doom on top of the Kunkka. It doesn't matter if mind control's getting these 3-man calls, because that sort of torrent, boat follow-up isn't going to be there, and that allows LGD to just overrun Liquid in those sort of fights.
And they didn't even commit the ghosts. So they can easily go for 2 towers here. Could even pressure the 3rd one if they want. And yeah, once they get the Doom on Kanka, there's no way they can fight here. Everyone just needs to run at that point. It's hard to recognize in that moment when it happens, because you don't want to leave Miracle to die. So he jumps in with Axe, and he dies. Hard to make that call. But yeah, at least Matumaman didn't die. He's keeping up with farm. It's not looking really good right now. BKB coming up on Slark as well soon. They want to fight back now. No Doom. So
I mean, there's no Doom, but as you mentioned, there is Exorcism. It wasn't used, and there is still Aegis. So Liquid, this is not necessarily an easy fight for them to look for, and they've jumped in on an illusion. So it's not going to happen off the back of this smoke. A little bit of an awkward play that Liquid were sort of trying for, and it certainly did end up being. But they jump in on an illusion, that's all they're going to get. Can they really find anything with the rain of the smoke? No, because Arme heads in with the Shadow Blade, dispels the smoke. LGD know exactly what's on. In fact, Arme, he's jumping in. He's got the Aegis. He wants to go, but he's going to burn it straight away. Let's see if they can do anything on the back of this here. The boat's going to be coming forward, but Somnus with the BKB and the Ghost looking to fight Arme. Gets stunned, but he gets the BKB out in time. Turns around with the Shadow Dance. Mind Control's in there with the call on to 2. But with the BKB's already out for Chalice and Arme, they're just not dying. They'll fight on forward, taking out Kuroki. But Man coming in from the side, but he just gets focused down. Arme just that little bit too strong. Mind Control can't quite find the control with that call. And in fact, Arme, he's thinking about going for the Axe as well. Jumps in with the Dark Pack, holding Mind Control in place. He'll go for the call. It's not going to save him. LGD, they're not even done yet. They're looking towards GHFY. It's got the slow with the punch. Somnus with the wraparound finds the silence. It's going to be a full team wipe as it looks to be. LGD, a perfect fight. A bit of a different way to start it off. Arme jumping in saying, hey, take my Aegis. But then the BKBs on all 3 cores coming into play. And Liquid, they just don't have the means to fight through that magic community at this stage.
yeah, and that's a buyback that from Lashrak as well. So that's 6 heroes killed. And yeah, as you say, those 3 BKBs, there's no way they can fight. Lashrak does nothing. Kanka doesn't do a lot either. He's not at that point where he hits hard enough to go through the BKBs. So the boat does nothing. And, you know, Matumaman is mainly magic damage as well at this point. So there's no way they can win against those BKBs. They were hoping they could just burst the Slark, but it just didn't work out that way. And now they're in deep shit.
It's a tough one. 11k advantage here for LGD as they sit 1 game away from the championship title here at the EPICENTER Major. But we've seen this series, and you guys and girls have as well at home. We've had a few throws and a half, so we'll see if LGD can sort of keep this advantage and not slip up, because it's happened before in this series. We'll see if LGD's learned from any mistakes that they made in the game that they did drop against Liquid. This time around, it's certainly looking a lot tighter. No question about it. The itemization this time as well from LGD just being bang on. No questions to be asked. The BKB timing, the pickups, showing their true power in these fights that Liquid are trying to take, but they just can't at this point of the game.
If Liquid is lucky, Ahmed could go Battle Fury, but that's probably not going to happen this game.
You never know. He does love that item. Crazy things have happened in this series. Maybe it can happen again mid lane. FY. It was Miracle, but the shards won't quite hold him down. He's able to get back, and Matumaman and Kuroki stand by his side. Looking towards X over here with the combo. Torrent, X-Mark, and Homing Missile comes forward. At the Shaman with 4, BKB actually popped it by Chalice. He goes straight in. He wants to make this fight happen. He goes in onto the Axe. The silence as well for Somnus onto 2. Buybacks there from X over. LGD, they want to try and take this fight. BKB and Exorcism is out. They surround Miracle. They take down the Kukra. Look at the Axe. He's continuing to be chased down by the Doom. That's the 2nd kill here for LGD. Silence onto Matumaman. LGD are just playing these fights perfectly. They're dancing around Liquid. Liquid can't deal with this at all. They've lost another. The buyback will be there from Miracle. Death Force dropped down from Kuroki. They're trying to do something about this, but they just can't. Arme and Chalice straight up into the high ground, into the face of Kuro. LGD, this is the sort of next level Dota that we have seen time and time again from them in this LAN. That it's just impeccable. It's absolutely perfect.
There's nothing they can do against this BKB. They're all magic. They cannot fight against this. They keep just running them down, and now buyback from Kanka. They're just going to go for a Rax. They don't just go Exorcism anymore, so It's going to be slow, but they're just going to dive it. They're diving
They
him.
are straight into the tier 4s here.
Is this where the throw starts?
I mean, we'll see. We've seen a fair few throws around the racks. They have got the control here. As Mind Control comes in with a call onto the Death Prophet. X-Mark as well from Miracle, holding the Ghost Man, the Ghost Lady, in fact, sorry, in place. As Somnus, he's going to go down. They didn't get the rack Bulldog.
They're doing it again.
There's something about this series. I don't know what it is. I don't know what they've had to drink or what they've had to eat, these two teams. But the throw, it just beckons them every time.
How did DP get all the way over there? What are you doing? Stop it.
I mean, they still have a hefty lead, as we can see. All three cores in a very comfortable place, but I mean, they could probably get away with that once.
Yeah. Don't do it again. Don't get too overconfident.
They might lose Roche because of that.
Yeah, oh my god. They still have the BKB. Doom should be up soon, so they can probably fight this 3 versus 5 if they want. Rasta spawning soon, and yeah, they're definitely going to contest this.
Let's see what they found already on the side. Mind Control, he gets the call off. Arme's going to come in from the back lines, looking to finish off the supports, but the cooldown will be there. They rush forward, they've taken down FY. Arme puts the BKB, focusing on a Miracle, but there's the control. Mind Control with the call, holding the Slug in place. Arme gets the Shadow Dance off in time. We'll be able to run back for now. There's a buyback here from Croaky as he wants to commit to the fight. Miracle trying for the grab here with the X-Mark. Mind Control does get caught out by the wards. He'll fall. They've lost 2 on Liquid. Neither of them have buyback available. Miracle trying to finish off the big kill here onto X-Nova. He's found it, but Arme's the one surviving throughout it all. LGD, they've found 4. They'll get Miracle as well. It's a triple kill for Chalice. Liquid get cleaned up. They do not have any buybacks available though, but LGD, they'll look to play it safe. They're not going to go straight for the push down mid. They will make sure that they can claim Roshan for themselves. And just as quickly they threw it away, they absolutely got it straight back into their control without any questions.
It shouldn't have been that close. So that Slark was only a second or 2 from dying there, and if he dies, I don't know, it's just too close here, but now they get the Roach, they team wipe them. This should be it. I think we might be looking at LGD, the winners.
We'll
Not
see.
quite yet though, but it's looking like it. DP ult is up.
Exorcism indeed going to make short work of these buildings. The tier 3 tower falls on LGD. They'll guarantee themselves at least the mid racks. 10 seconds until my man's back, but it's still 25 without Miracle. Liquid, what can they do to hold this? A 22k net worth advantage on LGD. Do they want to jump without Kunkka? That's the question. We'll say LGD will play it safe. Now that the 5-man are coming in, they know that they don't have to force this too crazily. LGD in a very comfortable position without a doubt.
They're learning from their mistakes after the 10th time that we should not dive that goddamn base anymore. Play it safe. Wait for next Exorcism. Slark is almost level 25. Absolutely fine here.
Oh, Arme. He has got the Aegis, so he can afford to play rather aggressively here. He is sort of on his own. Has he got anyone else nearby? FY is around. Arme, it'll BKB. He will continue to run. He does not want to stick around for this one, and he will get himself out of it. Make sure that he tanks the homing missile during the magic immunity, and he's quick to pounce out. We're going to have some fun now, though. Of course, FY, he's finished off the Aghanim's.
Yeah, and it's not only a fun item, it's a really good one. Does tons of damage, gets people out of position. It's a great item, of course, and especially if you have someone talented like FY on it, because you got to use it properly. And yeah, now they're just going to wait for Exorcism, run top, get the Rex, and Liquid. They can't let them get to the base. They need to smoke on them, surprise them somehow, but the problem is 3 BKBs will be popped. They can't burn down Slark. He's got Aegis, BKB. DP's now got A on disc. And Doom, one of the tankiest heroes in the game. Who do you jump here? It's not going to be easy.
No, not at all. One thing that they can maybe start to work around is the fact that with the frequency of these fights, the BKB durations are starting to go down a little bit. But still, it's a very sort of small plus for Liquid, because LGD in this game 4, I mean, the Slark, we said it from the start. He had a strong beginning, Arme, and he's utilizing it perfectly. He's 8-0-13, still yet to die in this match. And he's nearly level 25, with Skadi pretty much complete as well.
Yeah, no longer can get burned down here. And Liquid, if they could get that Daedalus, but it's only one Daedalus, right? Even if it crits, it's probably like, it's not a lot of damage. 20%, 25% maybe on the 3 cores.
They're just so tanky.
Yeah, the crit is not gonna, you need a Rapier and like another Daedalus to, we're not in that territory yet where you can one-shot people. So they're going to decide to go bottom instead. They don't care about that tower.
They've got the pushing tools at the ready. Wards and Exorcism ready to go. Skadi finished on Arme. And here we have it. LGD ready to try and invade the base. So if they go around the top, there's no tower there. Maybe have to get a jump. Chalice goes in straight away with the Doom onto Mind Control. They're backing up. They know that they can't really fight without the usability of the axe, but he's getting focused. Arme jumps in. They're focusing Mind Control and they've got him, but it'll buy back straight away. LGD, they don't want to dive too crazily. We've seen it happen before, and we've seen them pay for it. Chalice is going to get dragged back here by the X-Mark. Torrent coming in, but there's the save. FY with the snowball, takes the Doom out to safety on the side, but X-Nova will fall. Somnus jumps in, gets the silence onto one. The trap there with the wards actually holding Mind Control in place. He's in a lot of trouble. That's going to be Mind Control out with the dieback with Chalice. He'll fall. GH falls as well, though, because with the BKB, Arme fights on, looks towards Kuroki. He's going to be able to take down another buyback. Comes out from GH. Can Liquid do anything to turn this one around? They've killed off 2, but Arme, the stacks are building up. He'll finally drop, but he's got the Aegis. He's going to be back for round 2. Miracle getting held in place. The Yules up into the sky. Yules upon Yules upon Yules. The jump from Arme. He's just too strong. They've finished off Miracle. 4 dead on Liquid. Make that 5. GG is cool, ladies and gentlemen. LGD are your Epicenter major champions. And what a run that they've had. Impeccable place. A few mistakes, but it will allow them that, because when they played it brilliant, boy, have they played it brilliant. X-Nova, FY, Chalice, Somnus, Arme, Neymar, PSG.LGD absolutely doing it in the finals. 3-1 against Liquid. They're looking terrifying for them.
Absolutely, and that Slark, Arme, definitely MVP of that game, playing perfectly. The problem with Slark is he's not an easy hero to play. You usually pick him really late because there's so many counters to him, but even though they have an axe, Leshrac were good against him, really good counters, he still picks it up. He dies 0 times, plays perfectly, doesn't go for any dumb things, and he's just MVP of the game, I would say.
Absolutely. LGD, they managed to make it to the grand finals at DAC. This time around, they get to the grand finals, and they take down an opponent, not any old opponent as well. This is Team Liquid that they're outplaying time and time again in these matches, as they finally get that LAN title that they're after. LGD, PSG.LGD, this incredible team with a fantastic form that, no doubt about it, everybody's going to be watching coming into the next events coming up. PSG.LGD, ladies and gentlemen.
And that trophy looking pretty good right now.
It looks amazing.
I used to win those, but not anymore.
Look at the smiles there.
Feels good.
Absolutely. These guys, some of the oldest names in the book, they've done it here. This roster having just a fabulous show, and the crowd understandably acknowledging the brilliance of these players.
FY, one of the best supports in the world, does it again, wins. What a team and what a player.
And not just any old major, an Epicenter major. And it's stopping Liquid from getting that 3rd title in a row here at Epicenter. As I believe we'll head over to the stage. LGD, your Epicenter major champions.
Wow, 500,000 million.
I don't know if that's quite how the zeros were brought up, but we'll go. An incredible tournament. An incredible crowd as well, showing up for this one, and a crowd that is apparent has a love for Dota wherever it comes from.
Definitely, Epicenter is one of the best LANs there is in tournaments. The fans here are definitely one of the most passionate and crazy. You know how Russians are.
They love the Dota.
They do love the Dota.
They absolutely love the Dota, no matter where it's coming from, and the caliber, the level of play The level of Dota that we've had at EPICENTER has been quite like none other. It looks like we may get the chance to have some words from the players of PSG.LGD.
Very interesting.
Let's see. We may have to translate, Bulldog. We'll say, it looks like we're going to actually let the translation job go over to Paul. So back to Paul on the panel. As thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining myself and Bulldog for this one. It's been a great show, fantastic weekend. Any final words for the viewers at home from yourself, Bulldog?
Very fun. That's what this event was, so stay cool, guys. Bye-bye.
There we go. He said it. Ladies and gentlemen, PSG.LGD.
Thank you very much, Jess. Gotta love Bulldog in every way possible. Great commentary as well, alongside ODPixel, and superb as ever, with the right words at the right time. Congratulations to LGD. They finally won a major championship in Dota 2, and China have finally won a major championship in Dota 2 outside of the internationals, of course. And you know they say good signings, right? Paris Saint-Germain made some good signings earlier this season in the form of Neymar. They've made a very good signing in the form of LGD. At the very first event they go to, they win a major. Can't get much better than that, can you?
No.
Good signing.
No, not bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
very good. I'm sure Neymar, he's a bit of an esports fan as well. We know that. So I'm sure he'll be celebrating tonight alongside PSG.
Do we know that?
Yeah. Have you not followed Neymar before? Very good friends with Fallen. Very, very likes his Counter-Strike.
Really?
Has played a lot of stuff. Yeah, him and Fallen have often played together as well.
That is
they
actually
hang out at
so
Neymar's
cool.
house. It's very cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like when Ninja was playing Fortnite with Drake, right?
Yeah.
It's
Well, he was playing with Tottenham Hotspur the other night, with Dele Alli and a couple of the other guys.
That's
They
really
were
cool.
playing
But
Fortnite,
when he was playing with Drake, though, it was like this.
No, but he was playing with Tottenham Hotspur the other night.
I don't. No one cares.
Guys, LGD, let's
Yeah, let's focus on some Dota
LGD,
instead of some football, shall we?
absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
We thought Liquid had that game 4, but
Looked like it in the early game,
it
didn't
started
it?
off really good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Liquid had the early game; they were getting rolling, but you know, Ame Slack, once he came online, he was just all over the map, finding kills, creating space for the team, and they fought really well around the BKBs, around the Exorcism. Really good at just taking objectives as well, and they turned that game around quickly.
Yep.
Either team would be deserving of this title because they both played very well through the tournament. But LGD, do you feel like they had just that little bit extra?
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? I actually, to Jack's dismay, would have to give Ame my MVP because he was the difference maker. And if you look at DAC and this event, I think his play, his hero pool, his item decisions, albeit one that was questionable, were what pushed LGD over the edge.
Indeed,
Like
yeah.
they went from the equal to the better team, and I feel like that's a big part of it. Although,
Okay.
as you said, could have gone either way.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I'm hearing in my ear that he is actually the MVP of the tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
I
He's
like
going to
that.
get
Good
that. Have you
choice.
seen that MVP trophy, by the way?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's
That's
amazing.
unbelievable.
That gauntlet.
Yeah,
it
it's
looks
absolutely
good.
incredible. So good luck checking that into bags.
I was about to say,
He's gonna get out on
that's
the
one
flight.
trophy that you maybe want to take home. Most of
I
these
would
trophies, you're
definitely
like,
want to take
that's
it.
nice to hold.
Take
and
all
then
your clothes out, put that
I'm
inside.
done.
Yeah,
But yeah.
definitely. So what
Infinity
have you made
Gauntlet.
of this Epicenter then? It's been a long tournament, obviously, and
Yeah.
first Russian major, which is fantastic for Epicenter, and all the fans out here. We know how passionate the fans are out in Russia as well. So it's great for them, but also great for the teams as well. I think we've had a very good competitive major.
Yeah, I think part of that comes down to the fact that we did have a longer format. Feels like a lot of these tournaments have been only like maybe 4 or 5 days, a lot of them, with the minors or even some of the majors being like that. But here, we actually managed to get a fully fleshed out group stage. Best of threes always creates a little bit more intimacy with the meta, I think, that the teams really get familiar with what's actually good in the patch, and feels like we are on our first step to be able to solve this this bit of meta. We'll see how long it lasts for. It could only be another 2 weeks.
Could be
but-
Thursday. Yeah, see you Thursday when we change again.
I was going to say, this tournament's gone on so long.
Yeah, we actually have a new patch coming
like
in
an
4
hour.
days. We do, yeah.
This
Yeah.
is the only tournament played on this current patch. That is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't happen very often anymore. Overall, though, obviously it's very competitive, but also with that patch that came in and having this longer tournament, it's extraordinary to me that we talk about 5-day events being short now. Like, that's outrageous. When we think how we've gone through this whole season, we've got 4 tournaments left, but we're now at that point where a 10-day event feels about right.
And it's really cool to me that despite there are these patch changes, the top teams still remain, for the most part, the top teams, right? We still had LGD and Liquid in the finals. We still had Virtus Pro taking 4th here at this tournament. And then Flight of Moon obviously being the outlier here, but what a fantastic performance by them. They were really, I think, the story of the tournament. And even if they were absent here in the grand finals, I feel like everything was about them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when we look back, you often think of Boston, you think of Ad Finum, you don't necessarily think of OG, you don't necessarily think of any of the other performances, because it stood out as an extraordinary performance, and perhaps more so this time around, would you say, for Flight of Moon?
Yeah, I think so. It's just great. I just love Dota, and it's especially nice. You know, this is my second event I've ever worked. Just getting to watch some fantastic plays alongside such good people and
you're only
unique
saying that now
characters
because
such
you've
as
just
yourselves.
figured out that you're going to have to spend another 2 weeks with this man.
It's going to be fun.
I can't.
Kai.
I just can't wait. I can't wait, guys.
We're on this journey, this train ride together. There's no exiting. It's that's the beauty of these Dota events. Things get very intimate.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, we spent 3 months together.